This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. But here now the news for October 9th, 2024. Walt Disney World has finally announced their closures related to the incoming Hurricane Milton. The following closures and operational changes have been announced. On October 9th, the theme parks and Disney Springs will close in phases beginning at 1 p.m. Disney's Hollywood Studios and Disney's Animal Kingdom will be closing at 1 p.m. The Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Disney Springs will close at 2 p.m. It's likely the theme parks will remain closed on Thursday, October 10th. All they said was likely. I want to stop and talk about this for a moment. I didn't do any research before talking about this, so excuse me. I don't remember what the storm was. But a couple of years ago, I remember specifically there was a hurricane incoming. It ended up not really hitting us in Orlando very much, but Walt Disney World did close the parks. And I think they, in the end, that was a mistake because it ended up being, the next day ended up being beautiful out and the park was closed. And everyone just sort of sat in the hotel. I was at Wilderness Lodge that particular time, and everyone just kind of looked outside and went, it's beautiful out and there's nothing like on the ground outside or anything. Can we go outside? And everyone had to still stay in. I don't remember which one that was, but it was not that long ago. So I think that's why they wanted to say that. Obviously, it is expected this will be a bad storm, and it is expected at this time that it's going to pretty directly hit Orlando. Not at full strength, but nonetheless hit Orlando and Walt Disney World. So expect the parks to be closed tomorrow. Obviously, for the latest, check WDWNT.com. Anyway, continuing on, this included the cancellation of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom on October 10th. Event tickets will be refunded. Walt Disney World Transportation will stop operating on Wednesday, October 9th, after Disney Springs and the theme parks close. Limited minivan and Mears taxi service will be available to Walt Disney World Resort guests. Disney's Typhoon Lagoon, Winter Summerland Miniature Golf, and Fantasia Gardens Miniature Golf will be closed on Wednesday, October 9th. Disney's Blizzard Beach is, of course, already closed for refurbishment. Effective immediately, they are not enforcing cancellation policies until further notice for dining and other experiences, so you won't be charged. Prepaid bookable experiences will be automatically refunded within 7 to 10 business days. As Orlando prepares for the oncoming storm, Walt Disney World has begun its preliminary storm preparations at its theme parks. Here's just a taste of what's happening across the theme parks, so what we saw today. At Epcot, flags have been removed from the flagpoles at the entrance of the park surrounding Spaceship Earth. Food and drink kiosks have been strapped and bolted down to prevent movement during powerful winds. The Coastal Eats booth for the Food and Wine Festival has had its umbrellas removed and orange tarps covered the cash registers. Funny enough today, some booths just didn't open. Some remained in operation, some didn't. So it's kind of not a fully operational day on Tuesday. We're recording this late Tuesday night, just so you are all aware. So that way no one at WWNT has to come in on Wednesday. Obviously, we all live in this area, and so we are preparing for the storm, you know, as we all live here. So want to make sure no one has to work on Wednesday. So anyway, Earth Eats has similar measures as Coastal Eats with those orange tarps there. The Imagination popcorn kiosk has yellow straps as well, keeping it in place. Food and wine props have been removed, leaving empty patches of dirt in the topiary areas. Milled and Mold and Swirled Showcase have been prepped as well. The booths for the Canada Pavilion have been locked down with straps and covers. Rose and Crown has been locked down with straps and covers on the outdoor kiosks. The pin cart past the UK Pavilion has been covered and tied down. It would be a shame if that blew away into my garage or something. Like it just end up there. The storm did it. The awning above the entrance to Monsieur Paul in the France Pavilion has been removed. The Belgian booth is still operational, but has some orange tarps out already. In the Japan Pavilion, the banners for the Kawaii exhibit were removed. Umbrellas were also being removed on pull carts while we were at the park. And sanctions block off this covered drink cart, and the umbrellas have been zip tied in this case. The tiny village of Wurzburg, the train village, was still running as normal on Tuesday with the figures and trains yet to be removed. Maybe that'll happen on Wednesday, we assume. Maybe they'll do it after park close on Wednesday. We don't know. Don't worry, we do have, I said we'll be closed here at the office. Allie, our reporter, it will be out at the park during its operation early in the day tomorrow. So we will show you what continued preparations are happening across property, at least at WDWNT.com. So go there for that. We probably won't talk about it on Friday's show, just so you're aware. The beer kiosk in Germany has been covered with the yellow strap wrapped around it, securing it to the pillars. The beer kiosk has also been locked down. The Australia booth is missing its tent and has orange tarps over the registers. Meanwhile, at the Magic Kingdom, there wasn't a lot of prep done on Tuesday. The banners outside the Main Street Theater were rolled up, but otherwise, nothing else had really happened yet. Really, we suspect that's because Tuesday night was a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. They wanted to wait till that happened to start taking decor and things down. So we expect on Wednesday to see more prep at that park. Meanwhile, at Hollywood Studios, there wasn't a lot done either. Umbrellas were still up and open. Very little happened there yet. But Animal Kingdom did have a lot visible. All of the lamps outside of the park entrance were tied up. The lamps inside the Oasis area at the front of the park were tied up as well. Throughout the park, we noticed the same thing. The cloth wings from the bird signage around the park were removed for Hurricane Helene, but were still missing. They decided not to they just didn't bother to put them back up at all. I call them Clyde and Claude. That's not their names, but because there's two birds in the pre-show at the Tiki Room, as a kid, I always called them Clyde and Claude. Anyway, regardless, that's what hurricane prep looks like at Walt Disney World right now, so you know. Walt Disney World could be losing up to $200 million due to Hurricane Milton, which is projected to hit the theme parks in the coming days. Goldman Sachs analysts slated in a report released on Tuesday that closures and disruptions for the storm could cost Disney between $150 and $200 million this quarter. They also predicted Hurricane Milton would cause a decline in park attendance by approximately 6%. That was via Forbes. This could be the costliest hurricane to hit Walt Disney World since Irma in 2017, which the company lost $100 million during the course of. This is the 11th time in history that Walt Disney World will close in its 53 years of operation. 8 of the previous closures were related to hurricanes. Of course, one was the 4-month closure for COVID-19, and another one was the early closure in the wake of September 11th, 2001 and the terrorist attacks. So this doesn't happen often in Disney World's operational history. It's a very rare thing. Although due to hurricanes, it's been since 2017, it's been a more and more common thing, which is interesting, but nonetheless. Obviously, I want to say this. We have a couple more hurricane-related stories, mostly cruise line related, coming up. So what I want to say is if you are local and watch the show, please be safe. We wish you the best. If you're not local as well, obviously, stay safe if you're in the path of this thing. To our viewers in the Tampa area, those that have been evacuated, we hope you guys are a safe distance away. And those of you who are in areas that haven't been evacuated but are going to be in the path of this thing, we wish you all the best. It's a very scary thing. I was thinking about this today. Obviously, I grew up in New York, where the biggest, the things we had to worry about were blizzards, but man, a blizzard is infinitely less scary than a hurricane. So I know people are like, I don't want to shovel, I'm moving to Florida. Sometimes I'm like, I take the shoveling over this situation, nonetheless, wish everyone the best. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and the concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT. Your team will design your next magical vacation from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. And the best part is their concierge services are 100% free. I want to give them a shout out. I know they're our sponsor, but I will tell you, I know for a fact, all of these travel agencies have been super busy. Obviously, if you go to book with them today, they're going to be on the busy side because, we tell you their services don't cost you anything, but in these cases, you're their responsibility. So they're handling all of the, hotel cancellations and all of those sorts of things for their guests at this time. So it's an added peace of mind. It costs you nothing to book with a travel agent, and in these cases, with these storms where you're probably dealing with, my flight's been canceled. I got to deal with the airline in this. In the meantime, these, third-party travel agents could be handling the rest for you. So something to keep in mind. Make it their problem. That's what they're here for. That's what their business does. So book with them today. You know, in these situations, obviously, not the most important thing to deal with. But if you did plan a trip and it was canceled, you know, it's someone else's problem. On October 7th of 2024, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy held its final performance. The attraction is permanently closed to make way for a new Disney villain show, which will debut next year. On September 3rd, it was announced that the attraction would be replaced by that villain show, set to debut in the summer of 2025. Disney said the following about the new show: the creative minds at Disney Live Entertainment will transform Sunset Showcase into the mysterious, reflective realm of the Magic Mirror. The show will feature appearances by dozens of the most infamous evildoers, with fiendish foes Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, and Maleficent each breaking through the glass to take the stage in live production numbers. So yeah, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy is no more, but you can watch the full video of the final show right here on our channel. I know Billy and Katie are also working on a 4K multi-angle tribute video, which will be coming relatively soon, so stay tuned for that. Of course, we have had several stories as of late about the Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge plot, which is currently at what is Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Of course, we've talked about all sorts of things, permits and you know, flight regulations, airspace regulations, all those sorts of things in the recent weeks. Well, the latest update is dirt is being moved and the project, whatever it may be, has begun. Reflections at Disney Lakeside Lodge was announced by Disney in 2018. The new hotel was planned to be erected at the former site of River Country. After the abandoned water park was demolished in 2019, work started, but COVID-19 shut down all of that construction. I've told you all this story on several shows recently, so I won't talk about it again, but we are, barring, except for the announcement, sans announcement, this is clearly happening. Right? We don't know if it's still going to be Reflections. We assume it is. We assume it's still the same thing, but Disney hasn't said anything yet. But we would think very soon we're going to get some sort of word, because clearly the project is back on in some way, shape, or form. We will keep you in the loop as we find out more. That being said, I just thought about it. One of the most amazing things from the very early days of this website was when Bay Lake Tower was being built, they refused to mention it. So it was literally, the steel went all the way to the top floor. And if you asked a Disney Vacation Club cast member about it, they'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then like kind of wink. So maybe we won't hear about it for a while. Not until they've sold out of cabins at Fort Wilderness, which are not going well. And you know, the new Polynesian building and the like. Happy Pin Tuesday. Well, it was a Happy Pin Tuesday at Walt Disney World. It was an extra special one as they marked the release of this year's Christmas pins. We found all these pins at Pin Traders in the Camera Center and Creation Shop in Epcot, but obviously a number of these items were released resort-wide. But be on the lookout for these. There's a Christmas Thor pin for $16.99, a new Christmas Star Wars pin for $16.99, a new Christmas Winnie the Pooh pin for $12.99, Christmas Minnie Mouse, $12.99, Making Christmas Magical Stitch pin for $12.99. Making Christmas Magical Chip and Dale pin, also $12.99. The Pluto pin, you guessed it, $12.99. However, the Mickey Wreath pin from the Making Christmas Magical collection is $14.99. There's also a Mickey and Minnie pin set. This is 2 pins for $22.99. There's a Christmas Countdown Jumbo pin for $39.99. A Winter Gnomes Mystery set for $22.99 a package. The Encanto Puzzle Mystery pin set was also released. It's $19.99. That has 1 random pin from the 12 options in the series. The pin has 10 limited edition pins and 2 chaser pins in the set. The Spring Rides Orange Bird pin was released. That's $19.99. The It's Showtime Posters Fantasia pin, $19.99. Those are Pin of the Month series, so they're limited edition. And the Imaginative Icons Mystery pins came out for $22.99 a package. New Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa merchandise is now available at Curiouser Clothiers at the resort. There's a Mickey and Minnie ornament for $26.99, a corksicle for $44.99, a Tervis for $34.99, a glass for $14.99, magnet $14.99, beach towel $29.99, and a bath towel for $69.99. Yeah, I know there's a hurricane happening, but also, you know, keep it light. Give you guys some you know, we got to continue to show you the other stuff going on at Disney World, even if it is just merchandise. The new Disney Spa Bath product collection is now available throughout Walt Disney World. These products replace the previously available H2O Plus brand, which was discontinued 2 years ago. The new Disney Spa collection features a body polish, a body wash, a shampoo, conditioner, and body cream. We found the collection for sale at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, but of course we've seen them across Walt Disney World as well. The body polish, $35. The body wash, $35. The shampoo and conditioner are $45 each, and the body cream is $35. I know many of you were asking when the new products debuted, and by new I mean the rebranded products since Disney bought the formula, debuted in the resort rooms and on the cruise line, but now you all were asking if you could buy them yet. Well, now you can. In response to Hurricane Milton, Disney has announced the cancellation of the Friday embarkation aboard the Disney Wish, which was set to depart from Port Canaveral on October 11th. Disney announced a message to affected guests explaining the weather conditions forecasted in the area and why it necessitated a cancellation. Affected customers will be given a full refund for their canceled trip, as well as 20% off a future sailing. That's really good, by the way. To redeem this discount, affected guests must contact Disney Cruise Line on or before October 15th. As well, the Disney Magic has made changes to its itinerary due to Hurricane Milton. Their new itinerary was Monday, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Tuesday, Castaway Cay, Wednesday, Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. That was supposed to be Nassau. Thursday is a day at sea. That was supposed to be Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point. Friday, Nassau in the Bahamas. That was supposed to be a day at sea. And Saturday, they will still go to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Any pre-reserved port adventures in Nassau and Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point will automatically be adjusted to fit the revised itinerary. Meanwhile, according to guests currently aboard the Disney Fantasy, the cruise line ship scheduled stop at Grand Cayman has been canceled due to choppy waters caused by Milton. Though the storm is northwest of the Cayman Islands, it's still affecting conditions in the Caribbean. Disney Cruise Line ships dock at most ports, but guests are ferried to and from the ship by tender boats at Grand Cayman. This transport is impossible under the current conditions. The Disney Fantasy was scheduled to visit Grand Cayman on Tuesday, October 8th. Instead, the ship is enjoying an extra day at sea. Its next scheduled stop is to the southeast of Grand Cayman at Falmouth, Jamaica on Wednesday, October 9th. The Fantasy then has another day at sea scheduled before Castaway Cay on October 11th. It returns to Port Canaveral on October the 12th. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. A special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And of course, as I said earlier, stay safe, everybody.